Hey y'all, welcome in. This is going to be a quick one because I actually was watching the Sistas episode and then I started to not feel so good. But I was like, I cannot not get on live with my people. We have to talk about this Sistas episode, so I'm here, but I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I already recorded my breakdown video and my team is working on that right now, as well as the preview for next week's episode. So there's some really goodness, really good videos coming right after we get off this live anyway as well. So it doesn't even need to be as long because I literally made a really detailed breakdown video where I tell y'all exactly what I thought, because I had some thoughts, honey. I had some thoughts of this episode. But so let's go ahead and get right on into it, and then people will trickle in. If you are watching a replay, shout out to you. Thank you so much for checking out my replay. If you're new, please, let's start off with everybody hitting that like button on this video. But if you're new, also subscribe to the channel. This is the #1 place for Sistas content. I get down to the nitty gritty and talk everything Sistas, and I think that you're gonna love it here if you really love this show. We have some really cool conversations about what is actually happening in the Sistas world with each of these characters and their storylines. So it will not be a waste to subscribe. You should really go ahead and join the tribe. But this episode, hard to get. I guess that's what we can say is going on, right? So Karen is hard to get for Aaron. Danni is hard to get for Preston, I suppose. I'm really enjoying the space that we're getting from Gary and Andi storyline, even though we get to see Gary in this episode. Oh, 1 second. I gotta send something to my editor real quick. Or maybe I can pull it real quick. Y'all, if y'all are not following me on Twitter, you really should, because I literally live tweet the show and it's so good. It's so fun. Shout out to the actor who plays Gary, Chido. He literally tweeted me back because I tweeted that I don't want Gary to have friends or nice things, and he was like annoyed with it a low-key little smidge. Well, he wasn't annoyed. He sent back a really cool meme, and if you follow me at ericavane.com, you can see it, and that was kind of cool. Like, I love interacting with the cast. Let me send this to my editor real quick so she can include this in the video. But I'm enjoying the space that we're getting from Gary and Andi, because we have been so heavy with Gary and Andi. And while he's still pursuing her, by the end of this episode, you know, her storyline's starting to pick up a little bit more. She walks into this little empty old apartment of hers because Gary had bought the penthouse up in the sky, and all her, you know, furniture has been moved up there because what he told her, this was only the beginning, this ain't it. But when do we get to the part of your pursuit that is actual change behavior? When do you become a non-trash person? When do you actually find some morals and decorum? When do you stop trying to buy her as if she's some type of trite trollop, and you actually invest in her as a phenomenal woman and potential wife that you say that you want? Because it's still not given. I don't give a damn how many penthouses, Rolls Royces, Chanel bags, and or Christian Louboutins you buy, Gary. No. The answer's still hell to the no. I don't know. How y'all feel about it? What's up, Christopher Brown? Hey. Lisa Bell, Stacy Little, May Noble. Hi. Thank you so much. You found tonight's episode dry. We didn't even get to the damn meeting. I liked tonight's episode, but I think I liked tonight's episode because I was really excited for Aaron and Karen, honestly. Like, that's all I really needed out the whole episode, and they gave it to me right away. So everything else I was like, I'm cool with. I don't like how the whole Danni and Preston conversations went, but I'm like conflicted a little bit because I like the idea of it. And I talk about this in my breakdown video. So if y'all are new here, hit the subscribe button. When my breakdown video comes out, it's going to be more in depth with that. But like I mentioned, I am single, and one of the things that I'm doing right now is actually like talking with my homegirls and like dating and like talking to guys while I'm dating and getting advice from my friends of like, girl, this got me up, or well, am I wrong here, or whatever. And something that came up yesterday with me and my homegirl, she was just like, I think that you're going to need to open yourself up to dating outside of your race. And I was just like, you already know how I feel about that. You already know how I feel about that. I'm just not there yet. I don't see it. Like, I really, 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 really want black love, like really bad. And I don't see myself with a white man, even though I don't have no problems with, you know, white people or white men. I just don't see it yet. Like, I'm not there yet. But that's something that has come up within my friend group. So I feel like what Tyler Perry is trying to do with the Danni storyline is have that conversation, like have the conversation of what does it look like for Black women to enter into interracial relationships, especially if it's new, it's the first time. And specifically when she was saying like, am I supposed to grow you, and all that she was saying, I felt like it was a really botched way of having a conversation. But I'm trying to assume best intent for Tyler Perry. Like I said, I feel like he's not executing it well, but I feel like the conversation that he's trying to have is one of the biggest reasons why I feel like it's going to be a struggle for me to date outside my race is that one of the things I search for when it comes to a romantic partner is somebody who literally understands me without me having to explain. I don't want to have to culturally explain myself, my walk of life, my existence. Like, I don't want to have to give you the spark notes to why this lady had me fucked up in Whole Foods. Like, I don't want to, like, I just, that automatically, I'm just like, it's a no for me. So I feel like that's kind of where Danni was trying to go with it. But like I said, I feel like it's a very poor execution of it when it comes to the Danni and Preston storylines, because Preston has not shown himself to not be like malleable or like not able to pick it up. I think the biggest problem when it comes to Preston and Danni and how he's actually navigating learning her is that she doesn't let him actually see her. So he doesn't get to see her full Black womanhood. He only sees her in this damn apartment. He only sees her in this very small way. So like, while she doesn't want to teach him and, you know, the whole like take me by the hand, and she don't want to do that, that's cool. I get it, sis. You don't want to necessarily do that. But then that means that y'all need to start doing life together so that he can see you interact with X, Y, and Z, or be out and about in the world and then not understand why you responded the way that you did and go Google or go find another little Black girl to ask, or like befriend your friend, like introduce him to your friends and like create a space where he can actually have resources to figure out some of these things about you so that you don't have to teach him. You cannot just say, I don't want to have to help you learn these things, but then also close yourself off so much to the point that he has no place to jump into to even begin to figure it out. And then I hated her dialogue about what am I supposed to do, grow you, because sis, he is growing you. You have never had a man be this invested in you. You have never had a man pursue you this way. From what we have been given in the series, you have only had men who disregarded you, dismissed you, and act like you were less than. So he is growing you into a place or understanding, hopefully, that you can stop self-sabotaging and realize that you deserve this all along, and everybody else before had you fucked up. So while we over here talking about you ain't trying to help nobody grow, you got some growing to do too, sis. You ain't the easiest walk in the park, which is fine. I think, and this is probably why I like this episode, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. I wanna connect with y'all in the like, yeah, I agree, but I do like this episode. Y'all might feel like it was dry, but I felt like one of the things that I really enjoy are the interpersonal relationships and the conversations that get had, and like, are we getting to the nitty gritty? So like, when it comes to Danni and Preston, I mentioned this in my breakdown video, I'm starting to get little threads of like a low-key love letter to Black women from Tyler Perry, because I am personally, and again, this is 100% just Erica speaking from her perspective, I am enjoying watching these men pursue these Black women Even though I don't agree with them, right? Like, I definitely agree that Danni has a part in it. I hate the fact that she's acting like she ain't done nothing. I hate that. But I love the fact that Preston is still pursuing her anyway. It just sends a message of like, Black women deserve to be loved even when we get in our own way. We deserve to be loved even when we're difficult. We deserve to be loved even when you do not understand us. Like, that's what I'm seeing. And that's what I enjoy. But it's a lot. Oh shoot, it's a lot of y'all talking in here and I'm missing it. Let me pull this up on my iPad so I can read y'all comments, because I'm like literally just going off. Y'all are saying a lot in this chat. I'm sorry, I didn't have it pulled up. Okay. Christopher said, when do we trust a former adulterer and neglectful parent to be a decent partner? Gary, where are your kids, bro? Where are your kids? Stacy Little says it's not going to happen with Gary and it's because of how Andi is. Can you explain a little bit further what you mean by that? May Noble says Danni is getting on my damn nerves at this point. I'm just as confused as Preston. Yes. Good evening, Lynette. How are you? Hey, Mimi. Do I think Tyler Perry sincerely wants to have intelligent conversations about this, or does he just want to intellect clout that having those discussions bring Black creators? I'm gonna pin that because that's a question for you know what. Listen. And like I said, I feel like I am giving him grace and like taking his art and putting it through my lens, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to take from it. This is what I'm choosing to take from it. But you could be right, because I do have a problem with how it's being executed. I don't feel like it's being done well. So it's easy for a lot of people to miss this conversation. Like the conversation I just had about, you know, a Black woman not wanting to explain her Blackness to her white, you know, partner. It's a very real thing, but that's not what Danni actually is giving. Like she needs, like so much more needs to be happening. I said in my breakdown video that I feel like Preston needs to be a more entitled person. He probably needs to be a more narcissistic person. And he also probably needs to lean more into his white privilege. He is too accommodating. He is too grounded to actually support the idea that this couldn't work because of him. Does it make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Also, I thought Preston meant teach me how to love you, Danni, as opposed to Tanya or whomever. Not teach me how to love you, a Black woman. I mean, I loved all of his dialogue, all of the bits of his dialogue where he was like, walk me through it. While I don't want to teach a Black man how to teach a white man how to understand my Black woman struggle. If this was a man sitting across from me, like, please walk me through step by step, I am listening, I would be like, okay. Like, I don't know how you don't melt with that. Like, it's just so uncommon that I don't understand how Danni just sat there, like, still rigid as, like, girl. And listen, I'm trying to understand you, Danni sis, but I don't know, honey. I really don't know. May Noble says that's why he's confused. Yeah. Hey, Adriana. Ooh, exactly. With exception of sex, he seems more like a butler than a lover. Whoop, you better say that. Period. Now we talking. Oh, you feeling that, May? I'm sorry, I'm a little behind in the chat. Let me try to catch up. Danni needs to do some real therapy and mindset shifts. I agree. Okay, I'm glad I was able to articulate that for you. And shout out to Jeremy at our kind of entertainment. He crossed 200,000 subscribers recently, so congratulations to him. He's killing it over there. Denise, hey, good night. How are you? The conversation that with Karen and Aaron and Danny and Preston was very annoying, making me feel like giving this show the rest of the few months. All right, I'm gonna get through the rest of the chat and then I'm gonna come back to your statement, Denise. Hey Vaughn, you're live. Oh, I love all of your threads on the comment section. So how are you? Yes, it's your first time watching live. I'm so glad that you're here. We're gonna chop it up then. I said this was gonna be a short live, but now y'all got me all excited and I'm like really passionately telling y'all how I feel. So watch, I'm gonna still be on here. Yes, we are overdue for real love with care. I agree. But not when you step out in F, 2 different men, 2 different times. So Danny needs to figure it out. Okay. Black women deserve to be loved despite being flawed, but I personally draw the line at those James Buttlicker and El Fuego situations. Okay, Christopher. Melrose, hey, how are you? It's not his culture, so Preston would not know everything. He needs to move on if Danny is unwilling to compromise. Danny has a lot going on within. She needs to do some soul searching. It makes sense. All these black women, white men convos feel so off because Preston is just being him, not oppressive, evil, or deliberately disrespectful. I know I read Danny for filth, but it's Tyler's writing. It is Tyler's writing. This part, I'm gonna say that, like, I try not to give like any kind of cop outs. Like, I'm gonna try to take the character for what you put on the page, but this do feel like it's Tyler's writing because he's not being clear in the conversation that he's trying to have. So it's leaving so much room for us to really be lost. Cheating is a no-go for me, like most men and many, if not most women. I mean, cheating can be a no-go. I think it's a no-go for me as well. Nah, I think it is. Look at me trying to be damn diplomatic. It is a no-go for me as well, but there are countless people who it's not necessarily a no-go for. Like, in all honesty, I feel like it wasn't a no-go for Aaron, even though they weren't in like an established thing. He walked in on Karen having sex with Zach. And I think that Aaron is so... Aaron is starting to win me over. With his consistency, he is starting to win me over. I'm questioning him less and less and less. I feel like he is the type of black man that we deserve. And I'm really, really here for it. Oh, but let me go back to the comment that was like going to be a jumping off point for me. I really don't know if Tyler Perry is trying to have this intelligent conversation or if he's just trying to throw something out there and then benefit off of black creators and or black people having conversations in a more deep way without actually having to shape the conversation with the art. So I don't know the answer to that first question, Christopher, but I think that it's a beautiful question that you posed. I also don't know if Preston was saying, teach me how to love you, Danny, 100%. Because I think that there is a bunch of cultural blocks that are there. And I think that they need to be discussed. He also don't know how to bring it up. Oh yeah, that's where I was going. He seems like a butler rather than a lover. Denise, don't give up on the show. Don't give up on the show just yet. Because I do feel like while Danny and Preston's storyline is getting kind of butchered, and it could be so great. Like, it could be something that just is such like really great dialogue and provide a little bit of insight and give me maybe a little jumping off point that will open me up to being able to do interracial dating. Because right now I just can't do it. And I literally had the conversation with a friend yesterday and I was just like, girl, I can't, honey. But it's going to be something with anything. While I don't think that they're actually handling that one right, I do like what's happening with Karen and Aaron. The fact that Aaron was like, yo, you don't know. You don't know that this is not my baby. You don't even know how far along you are. And he did it with so much patience and grace. Like, take note, black men. This is how, Karen didn't fall in line in this episode, but she will. He gonna wear her ass down, because there's no way that you can have this much grace and love and poise and grounding for a black woman when I'm tripping. And at some point I don't be like, all right, now let me get my shit together. Aaron really needs to fall back. I'm not a Karen fan, but she needs a lot of space to figure out if she's pregnant, how far along she is, and who's really the baby daddy. I don't think that it's a question of if she's pregnant. I think the question is who is the baby daddy. And I don't know if Karen needs space, honestly. I think that she needs to let herself be in the moment and stop revisiting the past. Like, she's constantly looking back at the 3 years of her and Zach, and they did this and they did that. It's like, sis, you keep looking back, but you're not going that way. And that's all that I feel like Aaron is trying to say. And what I love about Aaron is that, unlike other men in his situation, and I'm speaking from my experiences as well, he's not competing with her past. He don't really care about her past. He only cares about her past to the point that it's affecting her right now, and hoping that she heals and trying to give her space to heal through that. But he's not competing with her past. He's not trying to downplay her past. He's not trying to do anything with her past. He's 100% focused on her future, and she is the one that's stuck in the past. And I don't think it's a thing about space. I think it's a thing about that. And in all honesty, in seeing Zach happy with Fatima and dealing with that hurt, because there's still hurt there. She does still love him, because it's not going to just disappear. I'm sorry, y'all. It don't work like that. It's not a light switch. Just because he moved on don't mean that now all of a sudden my feelings are gone. Her feelings are going to still be there. They're going to be there for a while. After watching this episode, I feel like Karen is punishing herself. I think she's punishing herself for finding herself in the predicament that she's in right now. And I hate that for her. And I'm only saying that because I've done it. It's when you alienate yourself from other people, from good things, because you just feel like you have made so many mistakes, or you have just done this thing and now this person don't want you anymore. This ain't this. The sister group is not giving what they supposed to give. Like, all of these things are happening. And instead of just accepting the consequences of whatever life choices that you have and dealing with it, you add additional weight on to you to make sure that you feel the hurt. And it's like, it don't even take all that, boo. Is it ideal that you're pregnant right now? And I'm still of the camp that it's probably Zach's baby, y'all. Y'all can go ahead and argue with the wall, because that's what I think, but I respect what y'all think. Is it a perfect situation to be in? No, but you're in it. And all you can do now is move forward. Do not continue to beat yourself up or drag yourself through the mud because things happen the way that they happen. Like, you are still very much so deserving of love and joy and happiness. And I just hate to watch her wallow. Like, there's a line that she says of like, stop saying everything I want you to say. And that line was just so telling to me, because that is a line that is said by a woman who doesn't think that she deserves good things in a moment where she should be paying the price for what she feels like might have been bad decisions. What do y'all think about that? I agree. Tyler Perry needs to make Danni lines brevity when she is having deep conversations with Preston. She knows that he is new to interracial relationships. TP did what's called a retcon, retroactive continuity, on Aaron by having him forgive his situationship Karen for cheating despite leaving his wife 15 years because of cheating. I mean, technically, Chris, they weren't, or Christopher, sorry, I don't know if you like the nickname Chris, so I can't even call you that until you tell me it's okay to call you that. But they technically weren't together at that time. I love me some Aaron. He's so understanding. Yeah, I'm getting on board the Aaron train for a while. And honestly, this was probably my little toxic whatever is in here. I was really thinking that Aaron was too good to be true. And I feel like that was just something in me of like, why do you feel like black men can't show up in this way. That's some shit to unpack. But I'm getting on the Aaron train. I love him too. I love him for her, and I love him for him. Like, while what I will say about Aaron is, like, it looks bad, right, on his part of, like, he's like jumping through these hoops to, like, get Karen, and he's not, you know, backing down from any of these obstacles that she's put in the way. And, like, while it might seem hard, it's actually really good for him because it's reaffirming, you know, his level of conviction and commitment and consistency. Like, I do feel like while it might not be the easiest thing to do, with him doing it, he's just reaffirming the person that he actually is. And I think that's a really strong position to have. Aaron is to Karen as Fatima is to Zach. Woo! Lynette, don't be coming up in this chat putting some little words together and making it all make sense and be like, bloop, here you go for your timeline in your life for the rest of the week. This is it. This is all. I've not, like, thought about it like that, but damn it, that is exactly what's happening. The difference, though, I think, is that Zach was, while he was apprehensive, he still went with it. Karen is leaning into just not going with it. But I love that. Thank you so much. Grace and patience aren't a problem, but why is he promoting that in messy, dysfunctional situationships? All right, so I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Christopher. But if you aren't finding grace and patience in mess, then is it really grace and patience if it's already peace? I just want to know. Not to say that this should always happen. I'm just saying, like, this is literally the time of when you want to cultivate and manifest grace and patience, when you actually need it. Because you don't actually need patience when everything is peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Let Zach is the father go, Erica. I'm not letting it go. Like, that's something that y'all would just not get me to let go. It is not until this baby comes out of her womb or the doctors confirm, or I don't know. It's not until Dana tell me that. So I've already picked a side. I'm not going to let it go. I'm sorry. Y'all just going to have to deal with me throwing it in there. But other than that, you know, you love me or whatever. So you're going to stick around, but I just can't. I'm not letting that one go. I'm not letting it go. Has it been said that this is Preston's first interracial relationship? Has it? I don't trust Gary when it comes to Zach. I don't trust Gary at all. Shout out to Chido. Chido actually tweeted me back, y'all. I literally was live tweeting during the episode, and I tweeted that I don't want Gary to have friends or nice things, and Chido sent me a little gif and was like, what is this about? It was so funny. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter at ericavane.com. I hope Aaron is the father. I think many of us thought that because it's rare for TP to write characters like Aaron. It is rare, but that's also what kind of makes it feel refreshing, right? Like, when you get this anomaly and it's a positive one. Danni and Preston relationship is crazy one-sided. Preston has to learn Danni, but Danni don't give two fucks about learning Preston. James, say it one more time for the people in the back. And that's where my conflict comes in, because I want Danni to be able to represent us black women who are out here like, damn, maybe I'm about to go see what this pink meat is about, but she ain't representing us right because she also ain't doing no work on her end. So it's like, girl, what is going on? Okay, Christopher, either is fine. Also, that's why I said situationship. They might not have been committed, but Zach and Karen in the closet was big enough deal to matter to everyone involved. But if you would, okay, so Chris, if you are in love with this woman and that happens, you completely, after that moment, cut ties, don't ever want to speak to her again, ever. Like, that's it, that's all. Like, that's it? That's all? Tell me in the chat, because I need to know. I don't know if like, Aaron is giving me, he thinks Karen is the love of his life vibes, and I don't know if I'm walking away from the love of my life with like saying nothing after that. Now, I might be leaning more into my toxic bag and be making your life a living hell, but I'm not walking away with like nothing. I'm not doing that. I just don't see myself doing that. Even as healed and evolved as I am now, I don't see myself just being like, okay, bet. Have a nice life. I don't see myself doing it. Now, I don't know if I will be as graceful as he has been, but again, I just don't see myself walking away completely clean. I like Aaron too. Karen does need to move on from Zach. If Aaron pulled a Preston, which we all know he won't, Karen would be in her feelings like Danni. She would. But he won't. That's what I don't like about Preston. Because, like, I love Preston's character up until a few episodes ago. When they introduced this whole this whole little Tanya moment, I was just like, I don't like how this is given. I don't like that he's groveling right now. Like, stand up. You weak in the knees. Hold your ground, bro. What are you doing? You were fine. Now all of a sudden you're this whimpering mess of a man who's using this other black woman to get back at this black woman. It's giving fetishy and weirdness, and this is not what you want to be doing. I'm sorry, it's not. Yes, this is Preston's first interracial relationship. They said it in season 1. Okay. But Zach has embraced Fatima. Karen is fighting Aaron because she isn't willing to move on like Zach has, baby or not. I think that it's just hard. Like, I think that moving on is just hard, and it looks different for everybody. So I don't even know if it's that she's not willing to move on. Sometimes it's really that you just can't. I know I've been in that situation. I've been in a place where I haven't been able to like move on until I moved. Like, I left the state and I had to physically not be in vicinity with this person, because every time we saw each other or interacted, I would revert back. So I don't know. I have a little bit of grace for that just because I've been there. Get clear about the qualities you are looking for and open if you find a person in another race. I hear you, Denise. That's what they say, child. But I don't know. Okay, so just to give y'all a quick backstory, y'all keep dropping what y'all think in the chat about Danni and Preston and Aaron and Karen, because that's what we're actually talking about. If you're new to the chat, it's more people coming in. That's where we're really at and talking about. Scroll through the chat to catch up on where we're at. But I'm gonna give y'all a little anecdote, because while it sounds good, Denise, to get clear about what you want and be open to it in any shape or form, the reason why this came up with me and my homegirl yesterday is because I'm talking to this one guy. I'm talking to a few guys, but I'm talking to this one guy. Lord, I hope they don't follow me, I don't think. But I'm talking to this one guy, and he's the second guy, because the other one I stopped. I was just like, I can't do this. But he's the second guy who I'm having these conversations about black men in media, black men with these podcasts, black men with these TikToks, black men with these Instagrams where they are dragging black women. So he like has a friend who he was helping to start a podcast, and that to me is a red flag. If I hear you tell me in this day and time right now, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'm gonna be honest, this is no shade to any of the black men who's in my chat right now. If you tell me you're a black man and you starting a podcast, my red flags is up. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, so what is your friend's podcast about? Thank God he was like, okay, it's about Marvel, and he's going to deep dive into that. I'm like, okay, bet, go for it. Yes, I love that. Get into it. Nerdy tease. I'm here for it. Yes. But I was like, I thought you were going to say something about relationships, X, Y, and Z, because I have been seeing, I work in digital media, have my own company, do a bunch of stuff on social media, whatever. And I'm seeing so many black men get on these create these platforms, and all they're doing is dragging black women. And I hate it. And his response was basically like, well, black women need to be held accountable. I don't agree with them being disrespected, but black women need to be held accountable. And I was like, okay, I have no problem with black women being held accountable. But if you're a black man who starts a podcast to hold black women accountable, are you also holding yourself accountable? This man says, y'all, well, black men are typically not given the resources or the support or, you know, the models to show us how to be held accountable. So you basically telling me that it's okay for you to hold black women accountable, but it's not okay for black women to hold black men accountable because y'all were never taught? Long story short, that was our conversation. Me and my homegirl talking, and I'm just like, I can't do it with these. Like, I just can't do that. Like, I can't go back and forth. Like, the conversation I wound up having with this boy, I just felt so drained afterwards. And she's like, well, girl, you need to open yourself up, and maybe you need to date like a white man. And I'm like, but then I have to teach him certain things. And I was basically making a point of like, it's going to be something regardless. And now I'm at a place of trying to figure out, do I not want to argue with black men about disrespecting black women enough to go and have conversations with white men about why certain things about me are so special or whatever that's going to actually look like? And I hate that for myself. And I hate that for every other black woman who is in this space right now. Let me jump back into the chat. Okay. So, Christopher says, I get you, queen. I meant the situation of setting up house with a woman pregnant by and into her ex who moved on. New Edition taught me about sunny days and standing in the rain. I adore you, Christopher. I'm so glad that you are here. That's Zach's baby. Hey, Angela. Denise says, a good man that makes you a priority in his world and treats you like a queen, value yourself, that you are worth it regardless of his race. And if it's a black man, amen. I mean, I hear you, Denise. I totally hear you. I'm in a better place than I was before. Like, I was completely like, hell no. Now I'm in the like thinking about a stage. So I feel like I'm on this journey of like getting okay with it. It's just going to take me time. That's all. It's not going to be an overnight type of thing, especially when you have like we women be conjuring up fantasies and thoughts and plans, and as life goes on, things don't actually work out like that. We got to adjust. Tiffany, hey. Yes, he said that when him and Danny first got together. Yes, ma'am, I would, if I catch the love of my life, getting banged out semi-public by an ex they used to on in and out of my presence. There'd be nothing for me to do but leave and plot revenge. Okay, but you would plot revenge. You wouldn't just completely never see her again. You would interact at some point. That's the part I'm saying. Stacy says, same, Eric, I can relate to the move. I left MA and moved to North Carolina. Ain't looking back. Okay. I had to physically create some distance. I told you, come on, get on the Aaron train. He is my favorite. You have it. And now you know what? It's really just because he's speaking to just what I feel like black women deserve. And it feels genuine because he's just been so consistent. It feels like, all right, this is real. We can trust this. Tyler Perry, do not crush all of my dreams and spirits and make Aaron raggedy the rest of the season, because I will come and find you. Okay. But I struggle with that just because it didn't feel like, thank you, Vauncey. Karen was ready to move on before rocking that closet. That's the part that I feel like everybody keep forgetting. Like, she didn't just randomly wake up and be like, oh yeah, I'm now back on Zach. He blew her whole damn back out up against that wall, and y'all trying to act like it never happened. Keep it real. Is this love or did she get dickmatized? I'm not saying move on, but suffer in silence. Let it burn, Karen. James, don't. Not the suffer in silence. I mean, you said what you said. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that because I thought that was very cute. Like, I ain't 100% agreeing with you, but I ain't disagreeing with you either. If Karen made love to Aaron first, do you think that she and Zach would have had that encounter? No. If he did it well, no. I don't. Nothing wrong with dating relationship podcasts, but the market is oversaturated on both sides. And at some point, you think they run out of new content. P.S. F having industry chicks on for clout. Christopher, I don't know if it's as oversaturated. I mean, okay. I'm literally speaking to the subset of black men who follow He Who Shall Not Be Named and the likes. I think what did it for me a few weeks ago was the Funky and Flabby. I will not say their actual names. I will not do any of that. Like, that to me, I would. And what I will say is that while women are not perfect, and I'm not saying that we are, I have yet to come across one black woman to have a podcast, a TikTok, a Instagram at the same level of following as some of these toxic black men who are simply degrading black men as their content. I have yet to find one, and I have been looking because I'm wondering, like, were y'all provoked? Like, what is actually happening here? Why are y'all coming for me on this good Sunday when I'm scrolling through my TikTok trying to live my best black girl magic, give you queen, do the best I can life, and y'all out here coming for me through my screen talking about how I ain't do nothing to you. So I don't know if I actually agree about it, like, being on both sides, because yeah, I don't see women doing it to men like this. Like, I really don't. Like, these men are saying stuff like, why do you think that you deserve to be loved? You're built like a linebacker. Like, that is something I actually heard someone say to a black woman. Huh? Anywho, hey Vanessa, what's good? Karen definitely needs to be alone for a while, but listen, don't take Aaron away just yet. Let him pop up every once in a while. Let him play basketball and run into people at the grocery store. Ashley Renee, listen, I don't know if Karen needs to be single. I think Karen needs to stop sulking and punishing herself, but I don't know if she needs to be single. Aaron married his ex and she has 2 kids. Exactly. Wouldn't you have to make sure that a white man respects you as a black woman as well? Yes. And another part that goes into that whole interracial thing, I got to make sure that I'm not just a little fetish for him. I got to make sure that he ain't acting out some kind of movie or whatever the hell he got going on. That part is work. So I'm just like, well, maybe I need to deal with these unhealed black men who are pissed at their mamas and annoyed with their aunties. I don't know. All of it is very confusing, y'all. I get on here and I give y'all the authentic real from my perspective, but I ain't got it all figured out either. Karen is being messy because she knows that ain't Zach baby, but Aaron. I don't think that she knows that. I think that she, knows what she wants. And again, I'm all for it being Zach's baby. Karen is being messy with inviting Fatima. I don't understand what Tyler Perry wants her to do with that. I don't know why she actually said it. I guess I got up or went to the bathroom or did something because I didn't even catch her telling Andi that part. I totally missed that conversation. And I'm like, girl, why do you need Fatima to be here? Because Fatima already know. But okay, go off. I didn't like Pam in the episode. She was really rude to Preston, asking him questions that are none of her business. How does she keep her job? I feel you, Melrose, but I also feel like Pam be doing what needs to be done. And sometimes you gotta be the little ratchet black girl in a situation to get information or get people to see themselves. Because Preston was running around there acting like he didn't want Karen to call Danny, acting like he just happened upon this salon, acting like he ain't messed this girl hair up on purpose. All the while, you really wanted a reason to be able to talk to Danny, and Pam helped get to the bottom of the nitty gritty. May was pathetic. think I missed something. Interact if I had to. Love, honor, esteem, and forgive. Never. Regarding being cheated on. I'm a Virgo, so I plot revenge from a distance or for a distant time. Come on, Christopher, with your Virgo status. Well, I think I'm also very true to, in my response, I'm a Cancer. So I'm going to feel all this shit and you going to feel it too. I would have given men like, I would have given men like that the time of day and they wouldn't be wasting my life minutes. That's real, Tiffany. Hold on. Tell me why Karen wants Fatima at this meeting. Let me know, please, since you and Karen are besties. I don't know that part. Like, that part, it missed me. I wasn't in the group chat during that moment. Like, I am, I ride for Karen. I love her. But, girl, that makes absolutely no sense. Now, y'all know I did a video already about how I felt like Karen and Fatima do need to talk, but I think they need to talk on a one-on-one basis. And if you haven't checked that out, the video is on the channel, so you can go ahead and check it out after this video. Karen slept with Aaron twice after the closet incident with Zach. That's why the baby's Aaron. She didn't sleep with him twice. She slept with him once, and she slept with Zach once before the closet incidents in the car. So y'all totally forgot about that. I think that Karen is just mean. What did she do that's mean? Oh, girl, Karen, help her, Lord. Help her, Lord. She's so confused. But I really understood Karen. Like, well, honestly, I'm in conflict with Karen, too, because for her to be a 36-year-old or 35 or 36-year-old woman, she reminds me of, like, 23-year-old Erica. And that's the part that I have an issue with. So I have a ton of grace for her and understanding just because I felt like I've lived certain things. Like, I have been the person of, like, you don't want the wrong person. Like, okay, so, like, how do I say this without outing myself completely? Because y'all get me to tell all my damn business here on Rihanna's internet. I've been in a situation before where I'm, like, into somebody else. And they won't say all the things that this random person that's cool. I mean, they're not random. They cool. We cool. But don't profess your love to me when I really want old dude right here to profess his love to me. So that's the energy that she kicking of, like, stop telling me everything I want to hear because you're not the person I want to hear it from right now. And that is a very hard thing to grapple with. And, like, what is interesting to me is watching how people respond to Karen when this is happening to women that they just aren't telling you or showing you, but it's happening. So while people are dragging her for filth about this, your mama probably did the same thing at one point. Your sister. We don't be having it all figured out all the time. We be going through some things. It's like, life is a journey and a lot of this stuff is a process. And then also we on Tyler Perry time, y'all. We've only been like 4 days in for 2 whole seasons. Like, get a girl a dang on break. But I don't gotta get on here and cape for Karen too much because y'all already know how I feel. But the whole calling Fatima part, I totally am like, no. Everything that Karen has done in directly relating to or interacting with Fatima, y'all know that I have called her on it. Showing up at that job and doing all that with Fatima, getting in her face, I've called her on it. She ain't okay with that. We ain't giving no grace about that, girl. You simple. You trying it. No. But that whole stop telling me everything I want to hear, I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry he the one saying it. I understand, honey. It's hard for you. And then she pregnant too, so she hormonal. Y'all gonna have to hear her out now. Oh, what was said about black women? Yes, May. Yes, exactly. Yes, Karen is stressing Andi to invite Fatima, and Andi called Sabrina and Danni. She later asked Fatima what was she doing later, and she would need her in an hour. Yeah. Going to that little conversation real quick because you brought it up, Stacey. I liked how Danni called Karen and was like, oh, thank you for not calling me about Preston. Preston just told me, whatever. Karen was like, yeah, I didn't want to call you, but I did want to tell you that I was sorry. I was going to call you to tell you I'm sorry. They had such a great moment. It felt like they were getting to a common ground place. It felt like Danni felt supported. It felt like Danni realized, or Danni saw the changed behavior in Karen, and that Karen was actually trying. And then not more than 20 minutes later, she gets on the phone with Andi and Sabrina, and she gets annoyed again that Karen called her the time before last. And I'm like, didn't you just let it go? Weren't y'all just cool? That's the phony stuff that I don't like about these girls. And I don't know if it's just Tyler Perry not paying attention to where he put these scenes at or what, but that annoyed me with them on the phone. And you know, when she got off the phone with Karen, she was like, okay, I'll be there. Basically, like, everything was going to be cool. But then when she gets on the phone with these two hens, now she got an attitude again. And I'm just like, this is stank dang dank. Who are these? I would not want these girls to be my friend. The first time that Zach and, are you asking when was the first time Zach and Karen slept together before the closet? Because it was in the car when I think they were coming home from the hospital after Zach defended her or something. I don't know. They had sex in her truck on the side of the road. I would have to go and find the episode for y'all, but I rewatched it a few weeks ago and I forgot about it. Pam was out of line and unprofessional as usual, but what else is new? That said, her acting is a weird mix of hoity-toity, bougie, and ghetto sister girl. Like, oh man, I'm here for Pam. Y'all not here for Pam, but I'm here for Pam. Did you hear Karen when she said that the only reason why she broke up with him was because she thought that he was going to keep running back to her? I mean, the way you worded, Tiffany, it sounds worse, okay? She said she told him so that he could stop pursuing her. I don't know what y'all want me to say about that. It is what it is. Again, I've already made a decision. I feel like Karen is punishing herself. She's going through a whole season of that. She ain't going to allow herself to find happiness or joy for a while because she's going to sulk and be all weird. And I'm just going to let my girl have her space and do it. And I just love the return energy. Like, to me, it was like a tennis match that we was watching. She hit the ball back over and he hit the ball right back. Like, and I ain't going nowhere. Why would you think I was going somewhere? It just gives him even more opportunities to show how amazing he is. So glad that you're getting on board. Aaron is a good dude. He's been consistent. His character and qualities shown. He has been this since season 1. Love Aaron day 1. I have not loved Aaron from day 1 because I had a problem with the wife. He didn't control the ex-wife enough for me. The ex-wife blowing her brains out in front of me would have been a deal breaker like no other. Like, it would have been I don't even ever want to see you again, sir. Someone killed themselves in front of me. No. So I think that also didn't help me get on board with Aaron. Like, he was a good dude, but the messiness with the wife, it was a turnoff for me. Rihanna doesn't get the internet until we get an album she promised in 2009. This is Rihanna's internet, okay? And Baby Ree's internet after that. That's it. That's all. Listen, she gonna give us a baby before she give us this album, and I'm fine with it. Even though I'm not necessarily fine with the father, but I'm healing. I'll get over it. I wish Karen would go to the damn OBGYN before driving all around the A, being sour and claiming pregnancy in those size 4 jeans like she's Yo, do you like craft this stuff? Like, do you got like a joke pad or something? I can't. I think Karen needs to cut all ties with Zach and leave him and Fatima alone, period, because they are having a wonderful relationship right now. I mean, she can't really do that if this is his baby. So, sorry, but no. Referring to Karen and Aaron, I remember when Zach and Karen got it in. Oh, Karen and Aaron had sex a day after Karen and Zach. That's when he was all drunk and like, Oh, you need sex. I want to make you. I'm not impersonating because it was laughable. The whole thing was laughable. I was like, Tyler Perry, why are you doing this man like this? But okay. Karen thinks that Fatima don't know is like some type of I'm gonna one up you thing. I don't think that she's trying to one up Fatima. I think it's weird that she's asking to see Fatima, but I didn't get the energy if she's trying to one up her, but okay. Did you ever check out No, I haven't checked out his spiritual talks on YouTube. I need to though. You know who else I just came across on TikTok because I've now fallen in love with TikTok, y'all. I'm about to be creating a bunch of content on there. But the dude from Bruh who plays Bill, he is raggedy AF on that show. But his TikTok is full of affirmational, black love, black support, just pouring in to people. And I was just like, sir, why do you play this trash man and you are not that in real life? Like, where are you pulling from? But I'm going to check out Kevin's spiritual talks. Let me screenshot that actually so I don't forget, because your girl be forgetting. The sisters aren't friends like that. It's given we grew apart, but I'm too lazy to change and expand my old friend group. That part. And I've been saying that. These girls is not giving, none of my, we do not, I would, oh my God. I can't even get the damn words out. Me and my friends would never. And I have old friends, lifelong friends, friends that I've known or now who are associates or nothing, because we are not actually friends anymore, that have been ushered up out of my life because it's an absolute no for me. Y'all are giving snake in the grass. Y'all are giving, you only here for the tea, but not actually here to help me heal and grow and push through the things that are going to be the toughest things in my life. How in the hell is your homegirl pregnant and not drinking, and the only thing that you seem to be able to form out your mouth is why you not drinking? Because of that preacher? You are literally not paying attention to your friend enough. Like, you just literally don't care enough. Sis is set tripping, being overly emotional, not drinking, and the only thing that y'all could come up with is she crazy and she doing it for the preacher. And none of you have asked, like, I don't know, but I'm also a Cancer, so maybe I also have just high emotional intelligence expectations, but I would never. My friends would not be able to get a whole pregnancy by my ass because I'm paying attention. What's going on in your life, sis? When you get older, the age that these sisters are, you don't just have friends just to have people, like just to have people around. You have friends because life is hard. You have friends because you need support and a tribe that's not just going to drink with you and talk about nonsense, but help you try to figure out how you're going to actually traverse these horrible, treacherous trails of life to get to the places that you're trying to go. And these girls are given simple and stuck together for no damn reason. Ugh. And Andi don't deserve Fatima. And I've said that quite a bit of times. I didn't like Pam I didn't like Pam that much starting out, but she's really developing to be a loyal friend for Karen. I just wish Tyler Perry wasn't writing her character. That part. Pam is definitely giving good friend energy. She messy, she nosy, but it's the intentions are great. Like she means well. And I think that that's also a problem for me with these other sisters, because how they interact with each other sometimes, I can't necessarily tell if they actually mean well and they're just messing up or they don't. Y'all get me hot over here. Their friendship is a hot spot for me. You learn from some of the best comedy YouTubers. No, it was a night after the wedding when Karen and Aaron had sex. Wasn't that just like a day or so after the whole? Girl, go back and look at Tyler Perry's timeline, because everything happens all in like 1 or 2 days. Like it literally was not that many days apart. But you might be right about it being after the wedding. I commend Karen for not stringing Aaron along and being honest. Yeah, and that's even something that he has had to pull out of her. Like, he has created a very safe space for her to be honest. And again, I just love it. I love it for them. Oh, Kevin is awesome. Is an awesome human. His castmates have said that he's most like the character he plays. That's dope. How did Gary become professional all of a sudden? Hey, Tanya. Or I hope I said that. No. Tania. Tanya, one of the two. Thank you for being here and your comment. Child, I don't know. You know, I have no good things to say about Gary Borders. So thank you, Money Matters. Thank you so much. Do people say you look like Serena and sound like Serena? They used to. Before this newer version of Serena, I used to get it a lot, like years ago. I used to get it a lot. Like, I used to get stopped at different places when I would be traveling. Because I also am pretty tall and like I played sports. So James asks, if you wrote the script, how would you navigate Karen and Zach's relationship? Ooh, that sounds like it would be a great video. I would have had both of those conversations happen, like the one that happened at Karen's salon as well as the one that happened in Danny's house. Because I do believe that both of them needed to happen, because both of them were like heavy on the other. Like, one of them said everything that they needed to say in one, and the other said everything that they needed to say in the other. So I definitely think that those need to happen. Are you asking me what do I think for the future? Or like, how would I have rewritten what we have seen now? Clarify that for me and I'll tell you. Me and my friends have been stretching and growing together no matter how hard and uncomfortable it has been. Then that's how you know that they are really friends. We're not gonna have the sisters meetings for 2 more episodes. No, they're gonna meet next episode, but Fatima ain't gonna come in into the following episode. Like, she gonna come in at the very end of next week's episode, leading into the following episode, and that's when she's gonna get really real. Karen is emotionally raw, hormonal, which isn't helping her confliction at this point. So why take Aaron down with you at this point? He's endured a lot. I mean, I don't think that the goal is to take somebody down. A lot of times when you're in that space, you don't realize, you know, it's as bad as it is. Okay. Do you think that Zach can trust Gary's friend? Yes. Can he trust Gary? No, because Gary is a menace. I feel like I need to hit up Chido and we need to have a conversation. And he's probably just going to ask me, Erica, why do you hate Gary so much? Why was Aaron asking Karen all of them questions if he didn't think he was the father? He does think that he's the father. And I think that he acts like... Another thing that I really like about Aaron, which was bringing me over to his side, is that yes, he's pursuing a romantic relationship with Karen, but he also is very intentional about them having a foundation of friendship and honesty. So he wasn't just asking the questions because he thinks that he's the father. He was asking those questions, putting himself in the shoes of being her friend and asking her the tough questions that she needs to be able to start to think about, because it feels like she's not thinking about those things. Did you ever address the time leap from 2019 when the show started in 2021 when Zach and Hayden met, or pastrami being brought up in the universe with nothing tied to it, like Mask? Wait, did I ever address the time leap? What time leap? It's a little late, so I might not be following. They never brought up the panini, did they? Is that part of the show? They made a note about the panini in the show? I don't think they ever wore masks or was talking about the panorama. She should punish herself. Maybe she will learn how to talk to people. Tiffany, girl, you gotta let that hurt go, baby. I'm sorry. Karen has already learned how to talk to people. She has gotten that very clear. And that was solidified in that conversation with Zach when he was saying that he was going after Fatima, and he told her how she made him feel, and she registered, and she was like, dang, I didn't realize. All of that was summed up right then and there. Like, you gotta let that hurt go, boo. Denise, why are you saying what already is understood? We know that Karen said, well, she didn't say don't pursue. She said, my little conflicted bestie. She said, I need to be single. And I need space, but I want you here. Girl, what the fuck are you saying, honey? What are you actually saying? I know, it's mad confusing. She's confused. We're gonna give her that. Like, she confused. I just want to see Timber versus Hayden part 2. Oh, team up. I'm not ready to see it yet. I don't want to see her beat him up on these damn crutches. Like, he'll Hayden and mind your business. Doesn't Gary's friend know Hayden though? We gonna see. I want to know, because in the preview it's like Gary says the wrong people were asking the right questions, and I'm like, well, you know Hayden, what's actually happening here? So we will see. Yo, I definitely said this was gonna be a quick one, and we have already been on here for an hour. Let me check in with my editor real quick. Okay, she good. Oh, not my iPad died on me. Like, girl. Okay, let me pull this up on my phone. 2 seconds, y'all. I can't see the chat right now.
I am a small business owner trying to find...
Okay. Your fave TV junkie. I love this. Hey, how are you? You love the conversation? I hope so. Y'all are going in this chat. I did not anticipate. I don't think... Oh, so go back to what you were saying, Tiffany. Like, not to like trivialize what you were saying, because you're saying that you think that Karen should punish herself. I don't think any of us need to OD punish ourselves, especially Black women. Like, we are kind of socialized to do that, and it's just like, just take the consequences for your actions and move on. You don't have to add any extra hurt onto it, and you don't gotta wish any extra hurt on nobody either. Gary is getting better, agree or disagree? Where? Getting better how? Because he bought a Rolls Royce? Because he bought some necklaces and some dresses and a purse? Because he bought a penthouse? How is Gary actually getting better? He still ain't taking no for an answer. He can't even get his girl space. He gotta be so in control and on her neck that he won't even give her space. How is he getting better? I gotta reach out to Chido, because we're gonna have to have a conversation. Y'all really think that y'all just, it's because he fine. I understand it. There's certain characters that I be Kane on Power. I do not want him to die, because Lord, I like looking at him. I have a problem with the fact that Mecca just died, because Lord, that man. But no, Gary is not getting better. I don't hate Gary, but he and Andi are so not it. Red flags are larger than I cannot with you right now. I'm not saying that part. Zach and Karen had sex in an SUV after she drove him home from Danny's apartment. Yes, season 1, episode 11. That's the episode I'm talking about. They had unprotected sex then, which would actually give us a little bit more time than the sex that was in the office. And everybody forgot about it. So that's honestly, I'm like, this is Zach's baby. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but it is. Is Andi making a mistake accepting all those gifts from Gary? I think he's up to no good, and poor Zach. Yes. Andi is making a mistake every time she keeps playing with Gary. She do not set up hard and fast boundaries, and it's going to come back and bite her. Miss Irene had mentioned that they wanted to have the office clean during the day because the bug was going around, and that was it. What bug? Child. Clearly, I gotta go back and rewatch. The show started in 2019 in the present day Trump administration. When Karen got served those papers from Jasmine, Pam warned her about germs. Oh. Zach and Karen had sex in the salon in season 3. No. It was episode 20 or 21, but I don't know what season. I think it was season 3. No. Maybe season 2. 20 or 21. I think. Somebody verify that for me, please. Chris Melrose is asking, so you want to see Hayden in a wheelchair? I think he wants to see Hayden in the ground. You know that Karen is confused when she didn't get Zach saying it's over. That's mad confusion. Vanessa, it is in episode 11. Go back and watch it. I literally watched it a few weeks ago. What hurt your heart, James? The episode brings about great conversations. Yes, it really does. So this episode, while it wasn't action-packed, I like the conversations that it sparked. I wish they would celebrate a milestone to make it better and easier. Birthdays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Yes, Tyler Perry's avoiding those like the plague. So it keeps us in this random place of like not being able to keep track of time. And that's the one thing that I wish that he would change about his writing is like, give us something to be able to track time with so that we can really fall into this world. I agree 100%. Karen needs to let go and let God cope, deal, and starts to heal, allowing that man to love you, support you, to do just that, love and support her. Yes. I just want to know what Hayden's plotting now. He's not going to take that beat and sitting down. He needs to. Like, I have no sympathy for Hayden at all. And violence is not the answer, but sometimes it's the way. I'm gonna just say that. Gary is the worst, controlling and manipulating. Yes. Erica, you say Chido like y'all familiar. We not familiar. You ain't find out nothing. We ain't familiar. But I have very, like, people tell me all the time I have like homegirl energy. So I guess I just be comfortable. Yes, please include me in your conversations with Chido. I still see growth. What growth? Can y'all tell me how has he grown? I really want to hear it. Zach and Karen had sex in the salon at the end of season 2. Yeah, season 2, episode 20 or 21. And Zach and Karen had sex in season 1, episode 11, in a car. We're being coy about the panorama because Susan W. doesn't like words about it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and other topics. Yeah, I should be saying unaliving, and I shouldn't be saying some of the things that I'm saying, yes. We see each other, Chris. We see each other. Fatima is going to beat Hayden's butt with that bat in another episode. Yeah. I think they need a little bit more depth. Like, if Hayden is going to wreak havoc, then he needs to wreak more. Like, he needs to actually be some type of contender, because right now, while I don't have any sympathy for him, it's also like I don't care to watch him when I know he's going to lose. Like, I don't feel at any point that he has anything on anybody that he's actually going to be able to do anything. I think he might have something to do with Zach going to jail, but Zach is going to get out. So I don't have any fear of Hayden or what he brings to the table. So his storyline just feels very unnecessary, you know? He doesn't add anything to it. You still say it's Aaron, baby. You know, most of y'all are saying it, and I want y'all to stick with that, because once we arrive at these DNA tests, we're going to have a big conversation specifically about the paternity. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to say, you know what, y'all? I was wrong. But if I'm right, though, prepare the others, okay? Prepare yourself. Danny is so draining, OMG. I was rooting for them, but at this point, Preston deserves better. He does. But like I mentioned earlier in the chat, I am enjoying watching this complicated Black woman still be pursued. Like, that to me is sending a message of like, we can just still be loved even if it's difficult, and I enjoy that. But yeah, Danny she's testing the limits for sure. She's definitely testing the limits. Have y'all watched Harlem? What other shows are y'all watching? Let me know in the comments in this chat what other shows are y'all watching, because I'm about to do a live next week about Harlem, and I want to do some type of like content next week all about love and like the different ships and situations, ships and everything that's happening across a bunch of different shows. And I know I'm going to talk about Harlem. Maybe I should talk about some sister stuff next week. But what other stuff are y'all watching? Not you wrong, Erica. We gonna see. Listen, I'm not always right. I definitely can accept that. And also, who gonna tell me about Gary's growth? Like, who gonna outline it? Because I'm still waiting. Can y'all give me the examples or the spark notes of like how Gary has actually grown in this time? Answered your question. Go up a couple comments from Hurt My Heart. Okay. James, I don't see. You said above Hurt My Heart? I don't see it. Can you repost it? Yeah, I don't see. Above Hurt My Heart, the next thing I see from you, James, is we not going to have sisters meeting for 2 more episodes. So maybe it flagged it or something? I love Harlem, and I really need to finish my breakdown videos for this channel, but I'm really working on this live that I want to do. I want to do a round table like conversation with a bunch of subscribers and some other YouTubers about Harlem and like get perspectives from both men and women. So I'm looking forward to that. First Wives Club on BT. I like that. 20s. I love 20 season 2. 20 season 2 was really, really special, and I'm a little bit annoyed that not enough people are talking about it. But First Wives Club is great. 20s is great. Harlem is great. Run the World, I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with season 2. I feel like Run the World started off very, very slow. It took a lot. A House Divided. What channel was that on? I haven't heard of that. Bigger is amazing. Like, amazing. I love it. Wonder Years. I haven't watched that, but I've been wanting to. In all fairness, Fawn was Aaron's ex-wife when she chose to self-harm. She was mentally ill, and it's not fair to hold Aaron responsible for another human's choices. It's not Aaron's fault that she harmed herself in Karen's presence, but because of him, she saw, like, that was all Aaron's package. And it came with him. So when I say that I couldn't really get on board with him, because before she even self-harmed, the popping up at my house, the begging me to leave him alone, all of that I don't think I would have ever even gotten to the point where she would have been able to be in my salon to self-harm in the way that she did. He would have been cut off from that. The first time a woman comes up to me and does that, like, no, it's a no. I am from Northeast Baltimore City. I have done some dumb things. I have done some dumb things on my behalf. I have done some dumb things on my homegirl's behalf. And those days of arguing with those days of entertaining any shenanigans from any are done for me. So I wrote Aaron off before she did that big act, because I was just like, this is just too much. Like, she's no. And whether you can control her or not, I don't give a damn. If I get rid of you, I get rid of her. So all of y'all got to go. That's kind of how I look at it. Yes, James, Harlem is good. I ain't gonna hold you. Harlem is good. Harlem is really good. Family Business I haven't watched since season 1, so I have no idea what's going on with it. I watch Kings of Napa. Are y'all watching that? We're breaking that down on the channel right now too. I wish I had a good friend that would let me use their BET account, BET Plus account. Listen, y'all better make some friends in this chat. Still watching P-Valley. I'm about to do P-Valley videos. I'm gonna go back and rewatch. I rewatch P-Valley, I feel like twice a year now, and I'm just like, all right, I need y'all to come on, because I can't keep watching season 1 like it's brand new, but it's murder night. Like, okay. Anyway, P-Valley is amazing. House Divided is on all black. Okay. All right. So that means that y'all gonna be joining me for this Harlem conversation that we're gonna have next week, because they have some interesting conversations on that show. And one thing that I really love about Harlem is, like, while it is set up from the woman's perspective, Tyler Lepley's character, who is Ian, is strong as well. And it's like, when you typically expect for it to be like, oh, the man is wrong, it's like, nah, he actually wasn't wrong. Like, he wasn't wrong. And I'm just like, this is such a great jumping off point for some conversations around relationships between men and women. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Harlem is on Amazon Prime. Thank you to Tania. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, child. I'm a mess. The Oval, All-American. I'm waiting for Saints and Sinners to return. A lot of people are waiting for Saints and Sinners. Twitter Space Live conversation coming. We need that. Yes. Oh, damn it. We do. Charge it to the game, not my heart. No, charge it to my head, not my heart, because I know we need to make that happen. And I totally like space. So many things are going on, but we're going to make that happen. Oh, yeah. And Queens and our kind of people. But I don't want to get excited about that show because if it doesn't get a second season. Yeah. I'm hoping that they're going to go ahead and greenlight our kind of people for season 2. Fingers crossed. Hey, Glenn Trevia. How are you? Love you back. The Shy was amazing last season. I like Queens too. Do you think that our kind of people will get a second season? My fingers are crossed. The fact that they haven't canceled it yet means that they really are thinking heavily on it. So it could be. My fingers are crossed. I have no idea though. Tana? Child, spell it phonetically for me, because clearly I'm slow right now. Fatima is my baby, and I don't want her to go to this so-called meeting, something not sitting right with me. Yes. Saint and Sinners is on Bounce, right? You don't have Amazon? Even while we in this Panini, girl? Aaron went to Karen's house to see her after that mockery of a wedding Gary threw, which was 2 days after the closet office situation. Yeah, okay, yeah. All Rise is coming back to OWN. I'm so glad that OWN saved that show, because All Rise is actually really good. What do I rate this episode? I would rate this episode probably an 8.5, which is good for me. Harlem Euphoria is stressing me out so bad. Like so bad. Rue, honey, please come inside. Cassie, baby, please transfer and find some Parkers to put on, honey, because your breasts are always out. It's just Euphoria. Whew. Euphoria is a lot. I don't think I would have made it out of high school if I went to that high school. Oh, Tana. Okay. Okay, I got it. Bam. I'm so sorry I've been messing it up, but I'm so glad that you love the live chats and that you're here. Do you think that Power Book 2 is better than the original Power? No. Not yet. It could be. Power Book 2 only has 2 seasons, and season 2 was definitely much stronger than season 1. I think that Power Book 2 season 2 finally showed us that it could stand up next to Power, honestly. Like, I don't think that season 1 was bad, but it definitely wasn't what season 2 was given, and Power Book 2 ain't there yet, no. Do you watch the 4400? So the 4400 comes on CW. I started to, and then I fell off. I fell behind, but I want to catch up with it. I honestly do. Because I like the premise, and I never saw the original, but I love the premise of it. So at some point, I'm going to catch up with it. Harlem was awesome. Good writing. If you've not seen Cherish the Day on OWN short series on Amazon Prime, they're coming back. So, let me finish your comment. But the director from Selma, yep. Amazing Black Show of outstanding writing. Yes, Denise. So, Cherish the Day is like an anthology. So every season is like a different version of a love story. And season 2 is coming. They shot it last year. I don't know when it's coming. But it's going to be another love story with just a different couple. And Cherish the Day was really good. The only thing that he has done to introduce Zach to Jake, and that's all and nothing else. Exactly. Gary ain't done nothing, no growth. That's not even a big thing, because we don't even know if he's trying to get to Zach just because he's trying to get to Zach's money. What do you think of Power Book 4? I like it so far. I think that it's Power, but it feels like Tommy. So I appreciate that. Like, they're not trying to make it Power season 7. Like, they're making it Tommy's show. I'm interested to see where these character goes. I'm like obsessed with Diamond already, but because, you know, I have a thing for fine black men. Like, he like a little gentle giant or whatever. But I like it so far. I think I'm not going to be able to, I gotta give everything at least 3 episodes before I like make a full opinion, but I like it so far. Yes, Saints and Sinners on Bounce TV. Also, what's on Bounce, I think, is Johnson. And that was actually really good. I should probably talk about it because I have a homeboy that's on that show. But I binged it like while I was at my family's house some random time. And it's really good. So I really should probably talk about that so I could promote them. 100% agree. It's definitely not Karen's goal to take Aaron down. Just clarifying that the statement was made simply to make the point because of where she is emotionally. It's best to take a break. I feel that. They have a remake of the game on BT Plus. I watched it, and I have been going back and forth of if I'm going to talk about the game on this here channel. Are y'all watching it? Like, anybody else aside from Adriana? Anybody else watching the game? One, I wasn't sure if enough people were watching it, and 2, I didn't like the first episode, but it got better. So, and like, a mutual industry friend is a writer on there, and I really support him. So I was like, dang, I really should really be supporting the show. And I actually love the original game and the BET spinoff of the game. I love that. Like, I love Kira and Blue. I love Derwin and Melanie. So I probably should be talking about the game on this channel, but I'm talking about a lot. If y'all don't know, I break down All American, Sistas, Power Book 2, Power Book 3, Power Book 4, Snowfall, Grownish, Harlem. Like, I break down a lot of television shows, so I be falling behind sometimes. Thank you. I'm so glad that you like it. Yes, Diamond is given. I like it too. Tommy has always been my favorite, and he did that. What Chris say? When Maurice gets called out for disrespecting everyone and harassing straight men. Or when will I don't know. I don't think that he will, because he's so funny. Like, I don't know. I kind of want Tyler Perry to pick. Oh, sorry, I'm peeking because I'm like yelling into this dang mic. Sorry. I want Tyler Perry, I think, to kind of pick a side with Maurice, but then I feel like we won't be able to get both, or at least pick a season. Like, he cycles in and out of Maurice's seriousness and playfulness too much for me. Like, we don't get to stay enough grounded in when he's really upset and serious and deeply hurt, because it's almost immediately that he's cracking some ridiculous joke or doing something completely inappropriate. And I feel like that creates a blockage, so that we don't really get to connect with Maurice and fully understand him, because you can't really tell when or how you should take him seriously. So I don't know if we're ever going to really be able to hold him accountable. Yes, Lynette. Lynette, one thing I will tell you, message me on ericavane.com, not just Erica Vane. Like, Erica Vane is my like personal thing, but I don't be on there. Like, I literally be focused on like ericavane.com, because we promote the videos and all that kind of stuff. So we got to talk on there, because I rarely check. Like, I might check my personal one once a week, if that. But I do think that what you're saying, Chris, is a very valid question. What was my favorite episode of season of Sistas? I guess season 4 I'm really enjoying, but it's not done yet. So my first thought is to say season 4 is my favorite, but if I can't choose season 4, then I would probably say season 2. And I think my favorite episode is the episode where Karen and Zach had the conversation in the salon. The first conversation in the salon, when he was saying that he was going to go after Fatima. I think that that's my favorite episode so far. My wish, got our girl, is that she taps into her self-worth and recognizes she deserves to be loved and deserves the best that life has to offer. So many of these girls need to realize that. Andi needs to realize that. Danni needs to realize that. I don't know what Tyler Perry is doing with Sabrina, honestly. Because Sabrina don't feel like she lacks confidence, but it's also like, girl, why are you still buzzing around this Calvin flower like you don't got options? Like you ain't giving goddess. The sermon... That's the sermon Aaron has discreetly preached. You ain't lying about that, honey child. You ain't lying about that. I hope Fatima does not go to the meeting. Everybody will probably try to double team her besides Andi. She can handle her own, but I just don't think it's a good idea to go. I think that you are onto something, and there's a video on the channel right now, because they released all the rest of the titles for the rest of the season 4, as well as some of the synopsis. And episode 8, actually, let me just pull it up and read it. Also on ericavane.com, I'm starting to update that, y'all. Let me drop it into the chat too. I have this all written out so that you can read it, but I think that that's coming. I really think that that's coming. Okay. Sistas. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up this little link here, and I'm gonna put it in the chat so that y'all can check it out as well. But all of the synopsis for the rest of the episodes of season 4 are here, and I also did a video about this. But when you go to episode 8, it's called The Sister, and the synopsis says that Karen delivers major news for the sisters and Fatima becomes the casualty of war. And I brought this up because your comment about hope Fatima does not go to the meeting, everybody will probably try to double team her besides Andi. I don't even think that Andi's going to be on her side initially, and I feel like that's what that synopsis is speaking to. And I hate that for her, but I do feel like the sisters might go through a moment of like overcompensating because they haven't been supportive of Karen. They have kind of been writing her off as some kind of crazy, you know what, and not really paying attention to what she has going on or really trying to figure anything out. So I could see them kind of turning on Fatima, even though the other two don't really have a relationship with her, but like really over exerting themselves to lend towards Karen to try to make up for how they have been with her. So I said all that to say what you're saying is totally within the scope of like that could possibly happen. It was girthy for me. Plus he dog walks Calvin. Both that I did not know anybody else said dog walks. I said that the other day and somebody like bust out laughing like, girl, what does dog walks even mean? Where you from, Christopher? As if Maurice didn't get beaten up into what we not going to do is bring up Darion. Don't do that. But he does dog walk Calvin every chance he gets. All the Queen's Men is really good. I enjoyed it. And I have breakdowns for all the Queen's Men on the channel too. What do you think of Danni dismissing the men at the airport? I think it's hilarious. I kind of want to see her give Logan a chance, but I want her to work out whatever feelings she got for Preston first. Now after seeing this episode, I'm like, all right, girl, get it together. What you gonna do with Preston? Make a decision. And then maybe give Logan a chance. I feel like Logan has really great energy. Like he has a commanding energy. So like while he's being persistent and like, oh, well, you're going to give me a chance. And he keeps, doing some of the similar tactics as Preston. He also feels a lot more grounded. Like this is probably going to sound really bad. But like sometimes we be needing you to be like, nah, we ain't doing all that. Or I don't know, just like taking command. I feel like Logan could take command. Preston don't take enough command for me. Sometimes we be tripping and you need to tell us that we tripping. And I feel like Logan will do that. Now, El Fuego, you cute, but you need to pick a side too. Do you want to just be her F buddy or do you want an actual relationship? Because if you want an actual relationship with Danni, I also feel like he needs to be a little bit more serious and put his feet down too. Like stand up. You shake like boy. The two men, I ain't feel nothing about them being dismissed at the airport because they not giving what they need to give if they actually want to get her. Alfredo really needs to move on. Danni does not want him, and he's too fine. Too fine, honey. And I don't know what is happening in the world, but why are these light-skinned men invading my life and put me in this chokehold like this? Tyler Lepley has his foot on my neck. And I like chocolate men. But El Fuego is fine too. Like a healthier Chris Brown to be stuck on a chick with issues playing him dust. It's the words that how you string them together for me. Karen Zach sex office closet scene episode 2. Episodes 20 and 21, season 2, episodes 20 to 22 was the trajectory downward of our girl. Yeah, it was that sex. That sex had her twirling around that daggone grocery store, and then they bump into Fatima and Zach there. That sex just destroyed her. The old Fatima spent a lot of time apologizing, but the new one is violent. Yes. Yeah, All the Queen's Men is actually filming season 2 now. They're currently in process of production. It's so unprofessional. He calls his boss out her name every chance he gets. Sabrina is his manager, and we already know in the real world that wouldn't fly. But that only flies because Sabrina creates a culture where that's allowed to fly. You're right. I guess it's truly the weight, but it's really just, she's really just not interested. Erica, don't come for me. I'm not going to come for you. Crystal Renee did say this season Fatima does stand her ground when it comes to others, so I'm ready for the smoke. I'm not ready for the smoke because I'm not picking a side. Even though I love Karen, I also love Fatima, and I'm not picking a side. So I'm not ready. Oh, okay, you were born in Roanoke. Okay. I must confess, I got my grip of black slang a little from younger coworkers and a lot from online creators. The internet really democratizes culture. Okay. Chocolate and bearded Jesus? Kryptonite! Like, but that damn Tyler Lepley, I don't know how he like snuck in, but he is there and he's implanted in my brain. Whew. Zach said that he didn't get his and told Karen, you got yours and you just gonna leave me like this. It takes two climaxes to make a baby. No, boo-boo. You don't actually have to climax to make a baby, boo-boo, because there is little swimmers in the pre-stuff, you know. And that's why I keep trying to tell y'all, you do not have to get yours to be a pappy. He is leaking the moment he goes up in that wet oasis, honey. Fluids are exchanging from that point on. Not to pick sides, but her to not bow down to them. I don't want her to back down either, but I did like the idea of her being a part of the sister circle. I did. It's not gonna happen now, but I did like the idea of it. But I also liked the idea more when I felt like they were actually a sister circle and not being raggedy towards each other. So she ain't really losing nothing, you know. I simply say concerning Karen's pregnancy, I believe two themes will emerge. Expect the unexpected, and everything isn't as it appears. I believe a twist or flip will emerge. Girl, what you saying? It's not Zach or Aaron's baby? What you saying? Y'all really got me on here almost 2 hours because we is having a good old time. Also, I wasn't playing. I just thought that the Darion dress Maurice had to be cut out. Or did he have the hat? Wait. I just thought it was Darion's dress Maurice had to be cut out of. I mean, what I will say, though, is that Maurice got back at Darion with his little homophobic behind. White chocolate is good, too. Tyler is telling you that through the light-skinned man. Oh. I can't. We need more men of darker complexion. Gary is the only one, and all the pretty boys is too much. Damn, is that... There are a lot of light-skinned men on there. And like Chido, like he's an attractive person. I'm not gonna come for the actual person, but I don't find Gary attractive. But it's probably because he's also a trash person. So you're right. We need some fine chocolate men on there. Who is Dion Rome? It looks like Danni has internal issues and she's lashing out at people unjustly. 100%. No, Maurice got back at Alonzo. Oh, that's what the boy name is. Why did I think the boy name was Darion? That Darion is Beyonce House of Darion. Not you having these intricate jokes that is going all over my head because I am sleepy. That you so so Alonzo beat Maurice up in his House of Darion dress. Got it. I can't. Found there's a rumor on Twitter that Karen slept with someone else and he is the father. Lynette, y'all just don't like Karen, so y'all coming up with any and everything. Don't do her like she Danny. She not. Okay, giving Karen a benefit, she may want to apologize to Fatima and say we need to find a way to get along since my baby will be around you. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I feel. Did a whole video about it. Oh, that's what El Fuego's real name is? That's terrible, because that's all I know that man named by. And he's in All the Queen's Men too. Thanks for expounding on your reasoning for not being on board with Aaron. The way you explains it makes sense. Feel you, hear you. Now relax, relate, release, sis. Listen, we're here now. I have forgiven him. That's part of the journey. I have arrived at forgiveness, and I appreciate what he is doing for our good sis on the show and what he is modeling for other men in real life. Because I do think that if some men could adopt some of the things that Aaron is actually doing, they could see their way through some dark times with women who are also experiencing or navigating dark journeys. And at the end of the day, both of them are really just trying to find their way through, but they allow themselves to be like kind of capsized by the situation, when a little bit of grace and patience could be all the difference. I like them both, but I want Zach and Fatima to keep their relationship as good as it is right now, because they just got in a relationship and I don't know drama from Karen right now. But that's the thing. Like, I don't think that Karen has any power in Zach and Fatima's relationship. So that's what I struggle with when everybody's like, it needs to be Aaron's baby and Karen needs to not create no problems. I don't think that she can. Fatima is very aware of what is going on, and Zach has been very, very honest. And Karen has no power in Zach and Fatima's relationship. Fatima is more worried about women that she don't know in Zach's world than she is about Karen. At this point, Karen is just an annoyance. She's not actually like a thing that could potentially break them up. So I feel like people don't even realize how much power they're giving to Karen in this situation, because the idea is like, oh, well, I don't want this to happen because I don't want this to ruin the team. And it's like, you acknowledging that means that you think that that thing actually has the power to do so. And I like Karen, and I don't think that she has the power to do so. I think that at this point in time, there is not one thing Karen can do to make Fatima and Zach not be together. Not one thing. Karen could be on her deathbed and he still would not leave Fatima. That's just what I feel. I don't watch the Boondocks, so I don't know. If you know, you know. If you don't, I don't know. But I didn't know that he was also accused of that. Episode 13 might be about the pregnancy. I hope we don't go in some really dark place with this pregnancy. I don't think I could handle that, honestly. What's prevalent in playing into the trope of dark-skinned as an antagonist. But Fatima may challenge her and be like, until we find out how far along you are, because regardless, what do you want? We need a confirmation. Yeah, she could, which is a very real conversation. Tyler is giving it his all with the writing and directing Sistas. Karen is like a fly at a picnic. Dang, Lynette, you are still on her neck. My God. Have you seen Bobby on The Oval or Ralph Angel on Queen Sugar? That's where the fine chocolate men are. So Bobby is the boy who plays on The Game as well. He is cute. And you know, Kofi is going Kofi. So there's that. You agree with me about Tima and Zach? Yeah. It reminds me of like All American is another show that I break down in depth, and people were just like, oh, I want Layla to go away because I don't want her messing up Spencer and Olivia. She couldn't if she tried. She has no power. Layla Keaton has no power over Olivia and Spencer's relationship. Y'all are giving her that power by saying that she get, like, y'all are empowering that and creating the issue for yourself because she literally has no power. It'll be a different story if, you know, Zach was still sniffing around Karen or like giving any kind of inklings of like he's still hypnotized by her or whatever. He ain't. Like, it's just not even a thing. The only reason the other girls aren't talking to Fatima is out of respect for Karen. None of them have room to judge, though. I think that they're also not talking to her because they don't run with her. Like, they don't actually interact with her. They don't ever have any reason to interact with her. If they did, it would be because Andi was bringing her into the circle, but Andi hasn't really brought her around. So I don't think that Danni and Sabrina are avoiding Fatima because we never saw them interact prior to, except for when Andi became that bridge. Watch the Boondocks, pause ASAP. It should still be on Daily Motion. I never got into the Boondocks, but maybe I might gotta check it out if you are telling me to watch it. What's going on with the other women looking for Zach? I don't know, but I wish she would iron her clothes before she come looking for people. I think Karen wants to apologize to Fatima. Karen is also dealing with the fact that her baby is not going to be raised completely by his father. Hey, Francine. I think the baby will be raised by the father. He just won't have the father in the home. Good night. Good night, Tana. Yes. Child, I'm about to get out of here too because we are approaching 2 hours. This has been real, but good night. Have a wonderful night. Sleep well and have a wonderful day tomorrow. Lynette, enjoy the conversation. Good night. Or good morning, yeah, because y'all are up with me. If you're on the East Coast, you're up with me. Yeah, we about to shut it down, y'all. No, Bobby is the built secret agent veteran who's on the run. You're thinking about Vaughn, who plays Barry on the Oval, looking like he smelled the fart and yelling about his kidnapped daughter. I don't watch the Oval, so I don't know. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. The other dude, Bobby, he played on a web series I love called Tough Love or Pillow Talk. One of the two. It's a web series that's really great and the creators of it are so dope. So I know who you're talking about. He's fine too. Yes, y'all, but it has been real. A lot of y'all have hung in there with me. We are on here for an hour and 52 minutes. So we about to shut it down. I'm going to drop the link in the description box again for my site, and you can check out all of the synopsis for the rest of the season, all of the episodes. It'll be 22 episodes to Seasons of Sistas. My breakdown video will be up shortly so that you guys can see my concise thoughts, and please like this video, share it on your social media and tag me. I will repost you. I appreciate you guys being here and having this conversation with me. I absolutely adored it. Clearly I didn't plan for this, but I enjoyed it so much that I stuck in here with y'all for so long. I'm excited about talking about other shows with y'all. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. Also, I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but if you have certain shows that you really love, I have playlists for every single show that I break down. So like Sistas, I have a playlist for Sistas as a whole and Sistas season 4. So you can turn on a notification bell just for my Sistas content and get notified every time I drop a Sistas video. So go down and click the channel button, my profile picture. It'll take you to my channel and you can literally go to the playlist and turn those things on. Okay? I appreciate y'all so much. Have a wonderful rest of y'all's week. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.